Hey, I'm Zach White. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to the podcast, welcome. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to you for being here, and I hope this community serves you in your leadership. I'm a student of great leadership, but I'm also a practitioner. I'm in the trenches with you, okay? Leadership is hard, and just when you think you've got it all figured out, you get thrown something new. And my hope is that this community provides you with the support you need to continue fighting the good fight. If this is your first time joining us, let me tell you exactly what you can expect from our time together. Every week, we are going to talk about leadership. We're going to study great leadership principles, and we're going to study great leaders throughout history. We're going to discuss great leadership books and resources, and we're going to tackle challenging leadership problems head on. And hopefully together, we're going to become better leaders. All right, let's jump in. What if I told you that there is an essential ingredient to exceptional leadership? And without this essential ingredient, it would be impossible for you to truly be an exceptional leader. And this essential ingredient is probably not what you think. Let me tell you a story. There's an old fable that tells a story of a poor woodcutter who had nothing but an old iron axe. This axe was his only possession and the only source of his income. And one day, while cutting wood near a river, he accidentally drops his axe into the water. Distraught, he sits by the river lamenting his loss. And then a fairy appears and, seeing his distress, offers to help. She dives into the river and retrieves a beautiful golden axe. And the woodcutter honestly replies that it is not his. Then the fairy brings up a silver axe. And again, he honestly replies that it's not his axe. And then finally, she brings up his old iron axe. And he joyfully claims it as his own. And the fairy, impressed by his honesty, rewards him by giving him all three axes: the gold, the silver, and his own iron axe. The moral of the story, of course, emphasizes the value of what we're going to talk about today, which is integrity. Integrity is the essential ingredient to exceptional leadership. So what is integrity? There are a number of definitions that I think can be helpful for our understanding of integrity. For instance, integrity can be thought of as the state of being whole or undivided. Integrity could be defined as the quality of being honest and upholding strong moral principles. I love C.S. Lewis's definition of integrity. He says integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Zig Ziglar stated that integrity is the first step to true greatness. Now, if you're thinking, what does integrity have to do with exceptional leadership? Oh, my friend, it has everything to do with leadership. Why? Because leadership is all about fostering trust, and trust is built on integrity. Let me repeat that, all right? Leadership is all about fostering trust, and trust is built on integrity. Nothing undermines trust and respect like a lack of integrity. Lance Armstrong, as you may know, was once hailed as a cycling legend, rising to fame in the late 1990s and early 2000s. And after battling cancer and making this incredible comeback, he won the Tour de France 7 consecutive times from 1999 to 2005. And his story is inspiring. It was this incredible resilience and triumph that made him an icon, and he became really a symbol of hope for a lot of people. But then came allegations of doping. And Armstrong's initial, response was he lied about it. He denied it. But then a comprehensive investigation revealed that Armstrong had, in fact, been using performance-enhancing drugs. And in 2012, he was stripped of his Tour de France titles and banned from competitive cycling for life. Now, the lesson that Armstrong learned is that while talent and determination can certainly lead to a degree of success, integrity is essential to leave a true and lasting legacy. I mean, think about it. You can become a leader and have some wins. But if you lack integrity as a leader, you will ultimately lose. Dwight Eisenhower, who achieved the 5-star rank as general of the Army during World War II and who was our 34th president, once said that the supreme quality for leadership is unquestionable integrity. Without it, no real success is possible. But that's not really going well, is it? Every month it seems as though we witness yet another leader caught in scandal or being dishonest. And it begs the question, have we lost our vision for the importance of integrity in leadership? Today, let's start with just you and me, okay? How do we commit to a life of integrity? How do we make sure that we aren't the next victim of moral failure? Let me give you 3 things to think about, all right? Here's the first one. To be a leader with integrity, we need vision. We need vision. Specifically, we need a vision for what we want the legacy of our lives to be. What do we want to be remembered for? You know, nobody has a vision to be unfaithful to their partner or to get a DUI or to cut corners and make enemies or to have their kids resent them. No one sets out with a vision of that's what I'm going to do, right? Those are results or natural byproducts of someone operating without vision. Okay, that's the pitfall of living without vision. You may have heard the ancient scripture from the famous book of wisdom in the Bible, Proverbs, that says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Okay, vision is critical. Nobody sets out to lose their integrity. Integrity is lost when our vision is weak. So we need to have a strong vision, right? So that's the first question. Do you have a vision for your life? Start with that. Personally, I have a vision, a lot of vision for my life. I want to be faithful to my wife and to love her more with each passing year. We just had our 10-year anniversary and I'm here for like the next 30, 40. I mean, I've told her so many times, you're my one. Like, I'm here with you and I want to be faithful. I have a vision to be an intentional and loving father to my 4 kids. I want them to have a present father and I want to raise them intentionally and I want to be available to them to help them navigate the hardships of life. I want to be faithful to that. I have a vision to serve people. I'm going to serve you. All right. I have a vision for making a meaningful impact in this world with my one and only life. You know, I have a vision to end my life well and not in scandal. And you know what? I can't realize that vision unless I have integrity. You can't realize your vision unless you have integrity. So what's your vision? That's the first point, okay? Here's the second point. Never, ever, ever, ever should we think, that'll never happen to me. Okay? That is quite possibly the biggest mistake we could ever make. That kind of thinking is the death sentence to our integrity. Why? Because as soon as we start thinking, that'll never happen to me, our guard comes down. If we let our guard down, we become vulnerable. If we keep ourselves in a vulnerable state for too long, it's game over. We need to understand that we are as vulnerable as anyone else to moral failure. Therefore, we need to keep our guard up. So what does that look like? It looks like accountability. Let me tell you something. Accountability is powerful. Accountability is your friend. Many people view it as something restrictive or controlling or something negative. That's just not true. I'm here to tell you that accountability equals freedom. Accountability equals life change. Accountability is taking ownership of your actions. It's the key to living a life of integrity. And I'll be 100% transparent with you. I have accountability in just about every facet of my life. And I intentionally choose accountability partners who are strong in the area for which I am being held accountable. For instance, I wake up at 4:30 a.m. every morning because I have other men holding me accountable who expect me to meet them at the gym at 5 a.m. There are mornings where I just left up to my own devices would not do that. I have A successful friend in finance who holds me accountable financially. He checks in on how I'm doing with investing and budgeting, how my goals are with that. I have seasoned parents who are far ahead of me, who hold me accountable for my parenting in my season, and help me be intentional. I'll pick specific individuals to hold me accountable for certain goals I've set for myself or certain spiritual disciplines that I consider mission critical. I also have accountability software on all my devices because I don't want to be a man who watches porn or any type of vulgar content. I have a brick device that holds me accountable for not wasting time on time wasting apps. I could go on and on and on. I love accountability. I'm a fan of accountability, and I need accountability. Accountability is the fuel to live a life of integrity. And if you want to go the long run, if we want to go the long run, we need to fuel up on this. All right? And let's be clear about something. Accountability is not weakness. All right? I had to learn that. Accountability is not weakness. Accountability is all about attacking weakness. It's about preparing the soil where integrity can be nurtured. It's about surrounding yourself with fellow soldiers who have your back. It's about having a vision of integrity and taking ownership of your actions that lead you there step by step. So ask yourself, where in my life do I need someone to hold me accountable? And I'm sure you already know. I'm sure you already know right now what that area of your life is. So let me ask you this. What is holding you back from getting accountability in that area of your life? Why wouldn't you do that? And if I were to guess, it's probably because of pride, maybe insecurity, maybe a little bit of both. I've been there, I get that, okay? But we have to state the obvious that those are not good reasons, and you know that they aren't. You know that those aren't good reasons to put accountability in your life. So I want to encourage you to invite accountability into the areas of your life that you know aren't going well or aren't going the way that you hoped for. And then just watch what happens. Watch what happens. It's life-changing. Okay, we've discussed vision. We talked about keeping our guard up. We talked about utilizing accountability. Let's bring it full circle. Why is integrity the most essential ingredient to exceptional leadership? Here's why. It's because leadership is built on trust, and trust is built through integrity. We said that at the top of this episode. Integrity is where leadership begins. And more importantly, integrity is the only way your leadership can last. In other words, if we want to make a lasting impact in this world, we need to create a vision of a life marked by integrity. We need to keep our guard up. And we need to invite the power of accountability into every facet of our life so that we can take ownership over the actions that lead us ultimately to finishing well. Only then can we truly become exceptional leaders. All right. Before we part ways for today, I know that was fast and furious, but I've compiled a list of my favorite books and resources on leadership that have truly transformed the way that I think and how I lead. And if you're interested in downloading that free resource list, I'll leave a link below if you're on YouTube. If you're listening to this through podcast, you can simply visit my website, zachwhite.com. My first name is spelled Z-A-C-H. I know there's a lot of ways to spell Zach these days. And my last name is White, like the color. So if you go to zachwhite.com, you'll see the leadership resource right there on the homepage. Lastly, if today's content served you, I guess I would just ask, would you consider liking, commenting, leaving a review, or sharing it with others that you think it might serve? That would really just mean a lot to me, and it would really serve this community. I would love to know specifically what your experience in leadership is like right now. What is your context? What are you facing? What have you been learning about leadership? Leadership is constantly teaching me lessons, and I just hope that we can feel the freedom to share that with each other. I hope you'll leave a comment and let us know. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I'll see you next week.